happening, people? We back with another truck a minute. Now this one gonna be a little bit longer than a minute, of course. I always say truck a minute. I probably should have named it something else, but uh, but I really wanted to keep these things short. But today I'll be talking about uh, just getting your CDL, man. Get your CDL and look, the easiest way to get your CDL. Um, I mean, look, man. The average, I see guys out here, and I did a video on this before, but I see guys out here walking around, man, and just almost looking lost, almost looking lost. And you don't, it doesn't have to be that way, man. I mean, unless you done tore up your driving record, you know, you this business, I'm telling you, can really help your situation, whatever, if it's financial. And most of the time with driving, driving is one of those things you mainly do alone. So it always gives you some time to reflect. You can think. That's how I think about a lot of these topics that I talk about. I'm riding around in the truck and you sitting in the quiet. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't have the radio on. Sometimes I'll be listening to maybe videos or something that can help me make more money doing something else. So just stuff to learn. But I wanted to bring this back up because, like I said, I see a lot of guys out here walking around, man, just aimlessly. I mean, if you don't want to, and I know, let me tell you, I done worked in the trash business. I mean, I done drove a bunch of different trucks, man, and I done did a bunch of different things in the 26 years I've been doing it, and I mean a lot of different stuff. So, um, getting your CDL, man, is really not as hard as people think. People may think it is. It's really not hard. Okay, so let me just start by basically saying if you want to improve your life, let's say you working at a grocery store, and I'm not downing people that work at grocery stores, but I'm just looking for something that is really not making a lot of money. It's anything you doing that's legal to make money is a great thing, you know. But if you want to make more money and you want to be able to, move into a different, I don't know, I'm not gonna say status, but you move up in money, man. If you used to making $30,000 a year, you get your CDL, whether it be a class B or A, the money change every class that's up. Your money changes. I mean, they got some class B. There's some class B guys that actually make really good money. It depends on what you do. If you're a class B guy and you're driving a straight truck tanker, they make really good money. I mean, now, of course, if you go to a class A, you're gonna be making even more. Uh, but let me get back on the topic of getting your CDL, guys. I really think that getting your CDL will probably change your life. More than likely, will change your life because, like I said, if you're doing something, and let me say this too, for guys that for guys and girls, because there's a lot of women driving now. For guys and girls, if you are kind of on a scale between going to college and uh, driving a truck, maybe getting your CDL, I'll say this: at most schools, if you spend $5,000 to go through a school to get your CDL, that's cool. That's way better than getting $100,000 plus in debt. Uh, you know, going to school. I'm gonna tell you because I know I did it. So um, but and I'll just talk about my personal side. I have a master's degree. Okay, I have an MBA, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I could have had some other positions, or maybe did something working in an office environment or something like that. Is basically what people do. I wanted to manage companies and stuff like that. So that's all good. That's all good until you coming in the door. until you walking in the door. Uh, you walk in the door. A lot of times these companies are not paying money. $40,000, $50,000. I mean, look, $40,000, $50,000 to some people is really good, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was making more than that 15 years ago. So if that's just something that you want to do, then more power to you. But the fact is, for me, it was hard for me to really want to take a job just because it's working in an office environment. You're leading. I love to lead. I'm a leader, and that's just naturally, I think. And my parents, they instilled that in me. I've never been a follower, so it's just one of those things, man. I don't um, I'm not a follower, so I don't look to see what everybody else is doing, or let me try to follow this deal here and see how this works. Well, so I'll say, okay, so let me get back on topic again about the CDLs and gaining a CDL the easiest way. So for me, uh, I would say the easiest way to do it for you, if you're a new person and you never drove a truck before, if you work for a company that actually has trucks, or that actually have trucks, um, that would be the best way to do it. When I came in, I had my Class B license when I first started driving, and I drove straight trucks for about a year and a half. But I had a friend on a job. His name Country. You know what? I don't know. I'm trying to think of his. It's been so long since I talked to him. I mean, I knew him by Country, but he was a really good guy, man. And he was actually the one, because I wanted to drive Class A. I wanted to drive the big trucks, and so he started. He was like, man, I used to see him driving, and sometimes I would ride with him, and I'm like, man, it just looks so. It looked hard. It looked hard. And he's like, man, it's not hard. Let me show you. So, man, let me hop in the driver's seat, man, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you, the maybe the first couple times I was working for F. Christiana in Marrero, Louisiana. I'll say that because I know most people don't know where Marrero is, but I was working there, and this one day I came in, I finished my route, I came in and I said, man, I'm gonna go jump in this big truck. And don't get me wrong, it's a you're nervous when you first do it. I mean, and that's with anything. Even if you're jumping in what is a 26-foot box truck from U-Haul, if you never drove one that big, you're gonna be nervous. It's just natural. It's just a natural feeling. So I got in the truck, and I had already did some practice, and was doing some practicing. Got into the back of the building, man, and hit a gas line, you know, and broke the gas line. So Mr. Frank, he called me in the office, and he said, man, you didn't see that line? I said, yeah, I actually saw it. But I thought I was able to make it. I was gonna be able to make it, so I tried to go under it, and actually hit a gas line. And it was a unleaded gas line. And thank God the line was turned off when I hit it, because if somebody was fueling, that line is full of gas. So anyway, I hit it, broke it, and that cost me about $800. Mr. Frank said, "I'm not gonna fire you because you're a good worker, and you're a good guy. So I'm definitely not gonna fire you. But you're gonna pay for this line to get fixed, and it cost me about $800. So, um, it's gonna be things like that if you decide to get into trucking. It's gonna be things like that. I mean, I remember one time I was pulling containers, and I had this time when I first got my first truck. I was making a turn and made the turn too sharp, and got the trailer stuck in a ditch. Now it didn't flip over, nothing like that, but it was just in a ditch, and I couldn't move the truck. So, and that was early in my career. And I would suggest, if you do become a driver, that the cheapest way to do it is if you know somebody that has a CDL, or if you don't, if you're pretty cool with a guy on a job that has a CDL or Class A and he drive, then ask him. Ask him, could he help you? You know, ask him, could he? Hey, man, you mind helping me out sometime? I mean, you have some time off and uh, just show me how to drive. I mean, most of the trucks now are automatic, so you don't have to worry about shifting. You know, I mean, I still would learn if you don't know how to shift the truck. I still would learn, but because there's some companies that still have trucks with shifts. So if you end up at a company and a truck with shifts, you're not going you're not gonna be scared to go and apply for that job because if you can't drive it, they're not gonna hire you. But like I said, the cheapest way to do it is get someone who already has a CDL, man. And if you work for that company, then you talk to the manager and ask the manager, can they, if it's okay with that guy, that he'll train you. If management say yes, it's okay, man. Learn how to drive a truck with a company, so you don't have to spend those thousands of dollars. You'll probably end up spending about maybe I don't know maybe $600-700 when it's all said and done, and you'll have your Class B or your Class A, and of course you know how to drive, because you done did it already. So that's the cheapest way to do it. I mean, if you go through the schooling, and if you go through the schooling, that's cool too. Now, the other thing I wanted to say when I was talking earlier about college or CDL, and here's the thing, man. If you decide to go to college, I would tell you, and just in my opinion, if you're a young person and you're still trying to decide on what you're doing, what you want to do, look, you can get your CDL. You can get your CDL, and it won't take you but maybe 3 weeks. 3 weeks to maybe I don't know, maybe 6 weeks. I don't know what these schools are taking, how long they're taking to help you get your CDL. But if you're trying to decide, especially if you're like 18 years old, if you're 18, I think you can still get a CDL, but you can only drive in the state. You can't drive outside of state lines. But that's cool. That's okay. If once you make 21, you can do it however you want to do it. But my suggestion, if you decide to go to college, go right out of high school, man. If you're gonna go to college, go right out of high school. Don't do like some of us, like me. I mean, like some of us did. I mean, I have a whole family, and I'm going to school full time and working full time. And look, it can be done, but if you can make a decision on what you want to do, and here's what I'll tell you about the pay. Most companies right now, you probably, and I can tell you right out the gate, you'll probably start off making 50, 60 thousand dollars a year easy. And depending on where you work and what you're doing, you may make more than that first first year. So and I'll also talk a little bit about what it is to be a driver, and I may save that for the next video, what it is and what drivers go through. So yeah, I'll save that for the next video. I want y'all to check it out. So if you're in between deciding on what you want to do, man, if you're living at home with your parents and you decide to go to college, man. Go ahead and get your education and do whatever it is you want to do. But if you realize that college may not be for you, go get your CDL, man. Go get your CDL and come out here and make some of this money because, like I said, man, I see too many guys, man. I see too many guys out there that just look, just looking desperate, looking like the world and gave up on them, and man, you can't live your life like that. I'm telling you this from a driver's mouth, and I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm just telling you, it definitely will change your life. But anyway, man, I know this truck a minute and went almost 15 minutes, and I know people get tired of sitting at a video this long, but it's some important stuff that I wanted to talk about when it comes down to getting your CDL. So, man, like and subscribe this video if you like the content. Y'all know, man, I'm trying to grow this channel. And I'm trying to grow this channel. I got a couple other channels that I'm working on. I'm trying to grow it. I need y'all to hit that like button, man. If you like what I'm talking about, subscribe. Because it's not all going to be foolishness that I talk about. I promise you. You know, it's not gonna always be silly stuff. You know, when it comes down to serious topics and different stuff like this is what I'll talk about. And I will tell y'all. So I will give y'all the next video will be the life of a trucker, and I'm gonna be pretty serious about that because it's not all good, man. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not all good. Drivers go through some serious stuff, man. Drivers go through some serious stuff, man. It's not a joke. It's not the type of job that, you know, if you have a wife and you get a wife, especially if you driving over the road, then she's really gonna have to be understanding, of your, of the lifestyle and what you do for a living, because trucking, it's one of those jobs, man, where you don't get appreciation. You gotta be self motivated, and I tell you, man, that the things that drivers give up, and I'll talk about that in the next video. The things that drivers give up, man, is amazing, and people just don't know. They don't understand. So, like I said, man, if y'all like this content, like and subscribe, man. I need y'all help on this one, but I appreciate y'all, man, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.